Well, folks, welcome back to the Ferrari HP Esports series. We're now well and truly well within the final half of the calendar of the regional finals, and it takes us to the Nurburgring for Assetto Corsa action here, first and foremost, from the Asia-Pacific region. 5 different podium sitters so far after our visit to Laguna Seca. Jackie Stewart describes this as the green hell. Will it be hell, though, here in this case, with the Asia-Pacific drivers are going to fight out for the one sole spot available heading to the Ferrari HP Esports Series Grand Final on the 5th of December at Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. George Morgan here, your commentator, alongside me, as always, Nina Jade Paul. Nina, can't wait for this. This is going to be a corker.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic round, I expect, George. And the standings are wide open. So if we go by what we've seen so far this week, where some drivers have just buckled under the pressure and completely bottled it, today's going to be good. It's anyone's game.
Well, if we look at trends, and I know that, you know, we basically might as well rip up trends, I think, as far as we're concerned. I mean, there's only one driver this week that has actually conformed to a trend, that's Aiden Walshingham. But, you know, looking back, we have seen championships turned on their heads, certainly here in the regional finals. Short format, short calendar, which kind of coincides with that because, like you say, your whole season can be turned right upside down from one round to the other. It's bizarre. But 2 different race winners so far this campaign as far as the Asia-Pacific region is on Assetto Corsa. Andika Ramalana coming into this championship leader, 9 points clear of Marcin Swiderek, who, whilst he took pole last time out, only managed 1 P2 and 1 P1 finish, but he is still very much in this, should we say, top crown fight, and we'll be hoping that once more he can go on to lay claim to further points this time. It's going to be very tight between those two, but there's still plenty of others in with a chance here, Nina. Chester Lamb on the cusp. He went through the entirety of the last 3 races, finishing 3rd, and could yet be a danger.
Absolutely. Like I say, the standings are wide open, John. I know Milana won the first 2 races, then Swiderek came and broke his streak and won the 3rd and final race in the last round. Swiderek had some dramas, though. He was a bit too punchy, if you remember. You actually famously dubbed him, George, as the Phoenix because he just kept coming back. And now he's sitting pretty second in the championship, like you say, 9 points behind Milana. He doesn't go down without a fight, and that's what champions are made of. You have to die hard attitude to compete at the top level of the Ferrari HP Esports series. It's going to be close between Milana and Swiderek, especially too close for comfort if they're together on track.
Absolutely right. Well, it was a Phoenix performance because we look back at those that first result, finishing 5th, and then later on managing to climb up to victory by the final race. Here is the format structure. 30 participants coming in from hot laps and regional qualifiers. We have now got 3 races apiece in round 1 and round 2. We are currently in the round 2 phase here with 3 races for all the participants applied here. Top 5 from each region head then to the Ferrari HP Esports Series 2024 Grand Finals on the 5th of December at Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Now, that top 5 does come with a caveat because there'll be top 1 from AC, which is of course what we have got here today, with top 2 going from iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. So that makes this all the more prevalent. Only 1 spot available on the Assetto Corsa format. Here is the race structure that we're going to be bringing to you today. Race 1 will be decided by the qualifying result. Race 2 slightly different. We're going to have the grid set by race 1's result, and then for race 3, grid will be set by qualifying 2 results. There we have it. A little bit of a twist in the tail from what we have already seen through the course of Assetto Corsa Competizione this week, and of course that is all applied, and then the results go forward through towards the championship table, where then we'll find out who the lucky driver is that's managed to qualify for the Ferrari HP Esports Series Grand Finals on the 5th of December at Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Top 3 going into the Grand Final, with 1 coming in from each region. So tonight, or certainly here this time, it's Asia Pacific. We then have Europe as well, and of course Americas will be coming up very soon. A very short fire system. Let's take you through the regions that are on offer here in the Ferrari HP Esports Series. Asia Pacific, which is where we are today. Follow that up with Europe, which of course will be featuring later on this afternoon, and the Americas, which will be coming up very soon as well. We still have quite a few Americas races still to come here in this championship to decide the final grid that'll be making their way to Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi on the 5th of December. But it makes this truly a global championship with stars coming from far and wide across the world, and all looking to contest for that fabled Ferrari Esports seat, that Ferrari HP Esports seat that many of them are definitely sorting after, and we saw how much it meant to numerous numbers of them. Obviously, drivers that just narrowly missed out on opportunities as well. It's come close, many of them emotional as well, where it's come to taking victories. No less Luke Whitehead, very emotional after a recent upheaval in our last ACC rounds, of course. It would go, of course, to Aidan Walshingham, but unfortunately for Luke Whitehead, who did put it on pole to commence round 2 for him, it all went ever so slightly south. We're going to take you through the calendar, though. This is the story that we've been telling through the course of the championship. It all kicked off at Imola, round 1, round 2, round 3, 31st of August, 2nd of September were the 2 dates. And then since then, we have barreled our way across nations: Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca, Summit Point, Silverstone as of this week, and of course now we arrive at Nurburgring, the final frontier. 3 rounds to take you through. Of course, we still do have a couple of other rounds to take you on as well, with Summit Point, America's region, for round 12, and of course Silverstone round 15 on the 12th of October too. Not forgetting Nurburgring, of course, will be coming up for the Americas region on the 19th of October, but for now we're going to be focusing on round 16 and 17. First and foremost, Asia Pacific, which will be starting us off here today, with then later on this evening the European region at Nürburgring as well. You're going to be in for a real treat, folks. It is going to be very, very special. Here is where we're racing. As I said at the very top of the show, Jackie Stewart named this circuit the Green Hell. Of course, a circuit that carries out numerous layouts. We all know about the famous and sometimes infamous Nordschleife circuit. We're going to be running around the GP circuit, where, of course, there will still be challenges met by the drivers. 16 turns, 5.148 kilometers, 3.199 miles, a capacity of 150,000 people. This circuit, Nina, has everything.
It has absolutely everything. The track has so much history and tradition. It's intertwined with that of motorsport itself. I mean, you spend a lot of the lap, George, thinking about the corner ahead of the one you're about to take, and that's simply because as soon as you exit one corner, you've got to optimise the position of your car for the next. This is one of the most challenging aspects of this circuit. It's not just a case of brake, hit the apex and accelerate on exit. No, you've got to be constantly able to adapt to put the car in the best position on track.
Certainly do, and given some of the corners, especially some of the heavy braking zones, we're talking, of course, about Castrol S going into turn 1, where you then make your way in towards turn 2, turn 3. The arena section can be quite dicey. Of course, then we have turn 7, which leads down towards the fabled turn 8, which is the progressive hairpin, which can easily certainly catch you out. And then the Michael Schumacher S comes up through turns 9 and 10 when you fly up through the chicane on the run up towards turn 11, bit curve then coming out of turn 12, and not forgetting the Vidal chicane, the famous Vidal chicane, which can certainly send you into obscurity. Turns 14 and 15 is where it starts to enclose. Then you reach turn 16, where again you'll meet another opportunity before heading down the home straight. It is certainly a picturesque, we romanticize about great fabled circuits in the past. Of course, this one based in Nuremberg in Germany, but nevertheless, we have had many races go right, many go wrong around this track, because it is just simply an immense challenge.
Absolutely. It's a highly technical circuit, George. That's the thing. And to be fair, with the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evos, which we're racing with today, their mid-engine designs gives the car more grip when cornering. And as you know, the corners are quite hard here. They're aggressive. So the car rewards drivers who take that aggressive approach when in the corners. So the twin-turbo V8 engine is no slouch in a straight line either. So it's almost like an aggressive beast going around this track. It suits it really well.
Yeah, Monster also down the straights is the 488, so no doubt they're going to make use of it down the start-finish straight, and not forgetting as well the runs heading out of turn 7 to turn 8. You also have a slight straight from turns 10 to turn 11, and then out of turn 12, the run up through towards the chicane at turns 14 and 15. There are opportunities aplenty for overtaking. Obviously, every driver utilising the same machinery. We're moving from the 296 that we did use, of course, back on ACC. That one, the 6-cylinder engine. We're now moving up to the 8-cylinder. Of course, the 488, the predecessor of the 296, which came out in recent years. I was there for the grand unveiling back at Spa-Francorchamps last year. Fantastic to see. And the Ferrari brand certainly packing a punch, as it always does, with the prancing horse emblazoned on the car itself. Obviously, Again, we romanticize about circuits, we romanticize about cars, and Ferrari know all about that, that's for sure. Looking forward, though, to seeing who's going to come out on top in this one. When we talk about some of the form books, of course, Andika Rama Milana, one of the top-end drivers, championship leaders so far here in this regional finals phase on AC. Of course, after a splendid run at Laguna Seca, where he would open up the first 2 races with victory. The last race didn't quite coincide. He could not quite do the triple, finishing 4th, but picking up a decent collective of points, finishing with 12 in race 3. The overall victory eventually coming to Marcin Swiderek, who of course took pole position heading into the evening. So it was almost roles reversed really at that point. And speaking of the devil, Marcin Swiderek now making his way around the track. Important to the floor, packing a punch here in the Ferrari 488, 5th gear on the run up now towards the chicane. Briefly went up to 6 as he now flies through turns 14 and 15. He's now got one final bend to take. Yet another hairpin is met. Of course, it does apply a little bit of load onto the tyres as well, especially when you're trying to put your foot back onto that accelerator, spin those wheels once more up towards the line. It's a 154.217 for Marcin Swiderek, and looking, well, certainly on form right now. Andika Rama Milana only able to set a 154.914, so very nearly 7/10 away from the top time set by Marcin Swiderek. To say that he is a Ferrari driver, that's exactly what these drivers want. That is what they're trying to gun for. That's what they're chasing. Marcin Swiderek will be chasing that too. Like we said before, the man who took pole in our last round back at Laguna Seca, hoping that it's going to strike again this time at the green hell. Makes his way up towards the line. Will he improve on that 154.217? Not quite. 66 thousandths off that top pace. So all eyes now on Andika Rama Milana, who comes up towards the line himself now this time. Is he going to get a little bit closer? No. And Chester Lamb can't either. The timer has ticked to 0. It's Marcin Swiderek on pole for a second time this campaign. The car's currently stood on the grid, getting set, ready to go. They're going to go from the lights. So a standing start, a little different from the other races you would have seen across different platforms. 6 lights about to get lit here at Nurburgring in Germany. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start for Marcin Swiderek on the outside, but you can just see on the inner that he's being challenged straight away by Andika Rama Milana. They're going to run wheel to wheel on the run down towards turn 1, and Milana's going to have the inside line, which is going to help him hold on to this lead of the race, and he takes the lead of the race as well. Twice a race winner. Last time out, he's put himself in a position to take a third, but there's still plenty of racing to be had between Swiderek with that 1 lap pace that we know all about. Can he use it, though, in a race context? That's the challenge. Heading down now into the hairpin, coming out of turn 8. They're going to run side by side, long way round here for Swiderek. That is going to make things very tricky. Gets onto the curb as well. Not an easy run. Run into 5th place and trying his hardest, trying his damnedest to try and repel the attacks from Oliver Wormston here. As you can see now, 3 wide coming in towards turn 1 as they now look to go side by side. Look at Alan Gu up in the middle as well. He's managed to get past. Oh, wow, a little bit of contact. He's got past Wormston. He also fancied his chances against Chester Lamb. A little bit of contact in the back of the Ferrari 488, but Chester Lamb able to hold on. But just look at Wormston and Gu go at it.
Goodness me, I mean, it was all a bit too calm, wasn't it, George? Chaos was about to happen, surely. I think we had this last time around this week where the drivers just seem a little bit rusty. They make mistakes. We have had a few weeks of break, so I've just felt like that was a mistake from Chester Lamb that's quite costly because now he's in the middle of the grid.
Andika Rama Milana right now. He is glued to the back of the fellow Ferrari 488. Black and blue come together up the hill as they now fly up now towards the chicane, coming out of turns 14 and 15. Outside line here from Swiderek, who's now going to challenge. Oh, Milana coming into contact with Swiderek. It was very brave, bold. It certainly wasn't brilliant on Swiderek's part. Wasn't able to get that move done or remain on the track, and he's flashing his lights saying this again. There you can see Marcin Swiderek getting closer once again, utilising that qualifying pace that brought him pole position at the start of racing here today, and it is going to run alongside now. Is it going to be this time that he manages to prevail? No, not quite. Shutting the door, Andika Rama Milana. I get the feeling that if he's going to have to get this done, it's going to have to be unconventional. He's going to have to throw a spanner in Rama Milana's way.
But it's just he needs to pick his spots from overtaking. He just needs to try and get a move done. Because I reckon, George, if he actually gets a move done, he will create some distance between Milano and go off into the sunset even.
That's exactly what he's thinking, I think. His one-lap pace is absolutely tremendous. That's what garnered him pole position. And just notice he took that wider line coming out of turn 1, so he would get the leverage coming in towards turn 2. Very smart play! That's not smart, though. That is a spin for Marcin Swiderek coming out of turn 2. I think there must have been the slightest contact with Andika Rama coming out of turn 2. Obviously, the car looked unstable coming in towards turn 3. I've noticed, certainly on many an occasion, the oversteer being a factor on Marcin Swiderek's car. It looks like he's extremely active on the steering. You can see as well Roy Newmar Ripperip in the distance, closing up to the back of the... Oh, he's done it again! He's lost it again! And that certainly goes to show whether it's the setup or something like that. He's forfeited P2, and now he's forfeited P3. He's out of the podium places. Roy Newmar Ripperip with a great chance of laying claim to an incredible podium this time. Between the pair as they run uphill towards the chicane, but the checkered flag has been taken, and it's Andika Rama Milana, your victor here at the Nurburgring. A fantastic job. Roy Newmar Ripperip finishing in second, and it looks like Oliver Wormston has finished in third place as well. I think Marcin Swiderek must have had an issue. He did not make it around the final corner in third place. Wormston will go back-to-back with podiums, with Jeff Newton taking fourth right at the bitter end. Swiderek finishing down in fifth, I think, Nina.
Yeah, mathematically, he could, depending where Marcin Swiderek finishes. But I hope Marcin Swiderek actually works on his setup a little bit, because it's nice to see the competition and the stakes high. Unfortunate to what happened for him, but like we say, we do have qualifying again after race 2, which just means it's all to play for.
Yeah, 24 points now, the gap between Ps1 and Ps2. Andika Rama Milana on 87 points, leading the championship, with Marcin Swiderek second on 63 points. Oliver Wormston moves up to third place in the championship on 53 points, with Chester Lamb 2 points behind him in fourth. Roy Newmar Ripperip, a grand podium finish, fifth place with 40 points ahead of Jeff Newton in sixth, and Bernard Roosley down in seventh, with Josh Nicolo in eighth place. So that rounds out the top 8 in our championship so far. We'll move on further down. Shantanu Kursagar currently down in 9th place on 9 points. Jensen Huang in 10th place. Alan Gu 11th, with then Ratchison. Kittius Nikorn down in 12th place on 2 points. Bradley Liu in 13th. Mohammed Abul Hassan 14th. Koki Yamamoto in 15th, and Liang Chun Chen down in 16th spot as well. So already towards obscurity outside the podium places anyway. Wasn't able to finish on the podium at all, as now we await the lights to go red. Remember, 6 lights to take, and then they'll go out. All 6 lights are lit now. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start for Andika Rama Milana, gets away well. The jump was perfect. Roy Newmar Ripperip did not get such a grand start. Currently features in second place, and being hunted down upon now by the sea of cars that await in behind on the run down towards the heavy braking zone into turn 1. You got Chester Lamb, Oliver Wormston, Nicolo as well. Great start for Marcin Swiderek, who has now moved up into third. Chester Lamb now up to fifth ahead of Nicolo, just behind Wormston as well. But it's Rama Milana who leads the way, as he has done so right through the course of this round so far, with Swiderek trying to close up to the back of Roy Newmar Ripperip. He's already cleared Wormston, and Chester Lamb has just cleared Nicolo.
Back of Milana.
He definitely does. Now on the run down towards the hairpin as they head down now towards turn 8. Inside line here for Swiderek, which will give him the tiger line, but contact between them. Oh no! And that looks like Roy Newmar Ripperip has found his way into the gravel. A flash of the lights again, this time from Swiderek. Now, if you remember correctly, retired off the back of that last race and ended up in the pit lane. Once again, though, Jeff Newton looking up the inside as they head up now towards the next left-hander at turn 11 in the inside from the Ferrari 488. And whipping that tail out. He's looked uncomfortable right through since the start of the race. And Newton now, position behind Nicolo, forfeits his position to the back of the grid.
Yeah, it seems a couple of these cars just don't look, they look a bit unsettled. I don't know whether that's a setup thing or whether the drivers are kind of rusty. I'm not really sure, but quite a few cars just don't look fully settled and comfortable. My goodness me. That just proved my point, George.
It certainly did. Roy Newmar Ripperip now also moving off into the gravel. Chester Lamb now moves up to fourth. Makes him the fastest driver out there on track. You can see Jeff Newton all over the back of Josh Nicolo as well as they head down through towards turn one side by side this time as Newton looks to go on the attack of Nicolo. Went ultra defensive at the inside. The wider line taken by Newton will give him leverage heading through towards turn two and turn three. Can he find his way past Nicolo? And Swiderek has been here before. Remember in our last race, he had opportunity at that very chicane that we just crossed paths with just now and has a look up the inside this time at turn one on Andika Rama Milana, and Swiderek ahead of the apex but extends off a little bit too wide. That'll allow Milana to take the outside line coming through turn two. Contact between them once more and Swiderek's car once more. We've seen this yet again. The car pitched sideways coming out of the first sector, and obviously that's cost him a huge amount of time. He's now 2.2, now 2.3 behind Andika Rama Milana. Around 1.1 as he now has a little look around the outside once more, this time around turn 7 here on Andika Rama Milana. Turn 8 though still to come, a heavy braking zone where no doubt Marcin Swiderek can look for that move. Goes to the outside once again as they go side by side coming through the very treacherous right-hander. Rama Milana being asked for his best defensive efforts once more. All day so far. He lost out in our first race. Chester Lamb has moved up to third ahead of Oliver Wormston as now we watch our first two in the timing screen now come together, coming in towards the chicane. A very big bold lunge here from Marcin Swiderek. That is fabulous from Swiderek, but is now under attack once more here from Andika Rama Milana. That was the move that Swiderek was waiting for. He knows he has the pace. He can utilize his straight line speed and his qualifying pace here now to try and gap Andika Rama Milana. A great opportunity for a first win here at Nurburgring. 14 and 15, no move here for Andika Rama Milana. Would much rather bring home the big P2 points. Marcin Swiderek though coming around the final corner. He had to work for it. He had to strive for it. He's got victory here in race 2. Andika Rama Milana makes it yet another podium. His 4th in 5 races. What a display from two very fast drivers. And he committed to those apexes, and take a look at what it's done to the championship as well. At this stage, Andika Rama Milana 105 points with Marcin Swiderek down in second on 88. Even if he was to lay claim to a victory, it would not be enough, obviously, at this stage, because another 5 points on top of the 8, for example, would garner him. Well, at this stage, it would be 103 points. So even if he was to score maximum points, he'd be 2 points behind Andika Rama Milana. Oliver Wormston down in third. Chester Lamb in 4th as well. Roy Newmar, Rip further down. Incidentally, I think I might be wrong there. It might be 213. We'll double check the math later on, folks.
I'm not good at math, George.
Roy Newmar, Rip down in 5th. Jeff Newton down in 6th on 42. Bernard Roosley in 7th on 30 points. Josh Nicolo on 28 points in 8th place. That rounds out your top 8 so far. 9th place for Shantanu. Kursagar down in 9th place on 9 points. Alan Gu 10th place. 2nd DNF in a row as well. Not finishing in our last run. 8 points to him. Jensen Huang in 11th. Rachasin Kitius Nikorn down in 12th. Bradley Liu 13th. Mohammed Abul Hassan 14th. Koki Yamamoto in 15th. Lang Chen down in 16th place. Still no points scored so far in succession. I'll tell you what, all eyes now as the lights look set to go red. Here we go. All 6 lights are lit. And it's pedal to the metal. And it's go, 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 go. And already cutting across in front of Andika Rama Milana. Marcin Swiderek knew exactly what he was doing. Needs to try and hold on to the lead right at the very get-go here in the race. This is all about victory here at the Nurburgring. And it looks like Andika Rama Milana's got his nose in front, coming out of turn 1, extending slightly. Marcin Swiderek retaining the lead back as they head out of turn 2. Chester Lamb watching all this unfold. He's got the best seat of the house in P3 with Roy Newmar Rip down in 4th. Josh Nicolo in 5th place, but it's Marcin Swiderek who leads the way as we get racing in race 3 underway. As they now look to fly, and now having a look up the inside, but not quite enough leverage to move up alongside the fellow Ferrari 488, the 8-cylinder engine though, and jeopardy there for Josh Nicolo, who spins. He made his way onto the curbs on the outset of turn 15. It unsettled the car, and the grass just turned him around.
Oh, unlucky for Josh Nicolo. That's been disappointing. But, you know, like I say, the grid is not huge here, so important points are still to play for. You can easily make some points back up.
Enough points in the back of Rama Milana's pocket to still hold on to a place at Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, for the Ferrari HP Esports Series Grand Final as they now fly uphill. He would love to do it, though, with a victory. Chester Lamb might look to do the same as well. He might catch them both unawares as they now come up towards the chicane at turns 14 and 15. A heart-in-mouth moment. Chester Lamb, he might have gone for the double, but gets onto the curb anyway.
Oh, no, it's just still a bit unsettled, George. That's not the first time he's done that. It's interesting enough, though, because Swiderek is very fast over a one-lap pace in qualifying, but he hasn't dropped off any of these cars. You know, the midfield is still very much behind him, as Milana has a little look. Yeah, having a little look up the inside now. Would he go late on the brakes, heading in towards turn 1? No. Opted to renege, obviously just trying to be a little bit more cautious. Remember Alan Gu, who incidentally retired from both of our previous races. He's now managed to find his way up into 6th place. Another look up the inside here from Jeff Newton as these two come to blows. 10 minutes and 25 to go. Newton not quite finding enough, but he might find leverage now, heading down in towards the next left. An uncomfortable run from Alan Gu, who tries to squeeze Jeff Newton out ever so slightly as they now go side by side, coming in towards the next left-hander out of turn 6. They've got turn 7 to come now this time, but still Jeff Newton. Jeff Newton has managed to obtain P6. Nicolo now ahead of Alan Gu, who's now retired for a 3rd successive race. Here comes Andika Rama Milana, now looking to challenge Swiderek. I do wonder whether Swiderek's playing games here, trying to back up Rama Milana into the pack just so he loses places, and they come together right again in the same chicane where they came together in race 1, where it all fell apart, but likewise where they came together in our last race for Swiderek to take the eventual victory in race 2. This time around, I think Swiderek was hoping that the initial would happen, and this time to Andika Rama Milana. He's backing him up into the pack, leaving him as fodder for Chester Lamb in behind. The run down towards turn 1 is now apparent again. It is now Rama Milana who leads the way, and it looks like Swiderek has dropped to 4th. Oh my goodness, what happened to Swiderek? Another drama for him. Maybe I didn't even see it. Did he spin out, George?
I'm not quite sure what happened, but we've lost it.
What happened, but I bet Milana is breathing a sigh of relief now. But, you know, Chester Lamb is right on the back of him. Milana needs to get his head down just to create some distance.
Yeah, obviously, Chester Lamb obviously trying his best to try and close up. What we are hearing, folks, is that Martin Swiderek clipped the wall on the right-hand side. We all know how close that pit lane wall can get on the track side, and if you're squeezed out that far, then obviously it does leave you in a potential window for a huge crunching incident, and it does look like Swiderek has come off very unfortunate in that one. And it's been an accomplished performance here from Andika Rama Milana. He took the first 2 race wins back at Laguna Seca. He made it 3 victories in race 1 here in round 2 at Nurburgring, and it's win number 4 here for Andika Rama Milana, and confirmed placement here in the Ferrari HP Esports Series Grand Final on the 5th of December. A massive performance, yet another podium to add to his books. That makes it 5 podiums in 6 races, and a congratulations with the flashing lights from Chester Lamb. Andika Rama Milana, your winner once again here in Assetto Corsa in the Asia Pacific region.
Beautiful drive from Milana, George. He made it look easy. He came under pressure every single race. Sometimes he was the aggressor, sometimes he was being the one chased, but he made it look easy. Well-rounded driver, great driver, had a great showing.
Fantastic performance on part of him. That means he walks away in totality 68 points out of round 2 alone. So those 68 points no doubt will feed into the 62 that he already obtained, making it 130 points he's managed to collect so far this campaign. And there's the confirmation on your screen, folks. Andika Rama Milana, top of the tree, top of the shop, 130 points. He is the winner of this regional finals phase and will be heading to Ferrari World Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Martin Swiderek finishing in 2nd, unfortunately retiring or coming into the pits all but briefly before heading back out again after that big crash heading into the pit lane barrier. 94 points to his name come the end of racing. Chester Lamb managing to put together 81 points in third. Oliver Wormston fourth on 78, with P5 going to Roy Newmar Ripper on 65 points. Jeff Newton finishing in sixth on 54 points. Josh Nicolo in seventh place on 36 points. Bernhard Roosley down in 8th place on 30 points. That rounds out your top 8. P9, Alan Gu, who retired from all 3 of those final races. 12 points going to him, 10 points going, or should I say 10th place going to Shan Tanu Kursagar on 9 points. Jensen Huang on 6 points in 11th. Ratchison Kitius Nikorn on 2 points in 12th. And then no points for Bradley Liu, Mohammed Abul Hassan, Koki Yamamoto, and Liang Chun Chen down in 16th place. Well, what an immense showing. What an immense performance, Nina. And it looks like it's going to go the way of Andika Ramamalana. He has been impressive. Consistency reigned supreme. Did it not here today?
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, Milan said in his post-race interview last time out that he needs to find some answers to Swidderek's pace. Well, don't be so hard on yourself, because your racecraft is amazing, Milana. Look what you've done. Mr. Consistent. Really, really good driver. So very well-deserved spot in the grand final there.
And plenty of learnings taken from Marcin Swidderek as well.
Absolutely, but let's not, put Swidderek down. He put on a stonking performance last round and this round, gave us so much entertainment. An amazing driver with raw pace, a real racer. So hats off to him. He's had a really good series.
He certainly has, and we've had lots of entertainment here in the commentary box. We hope you have at home as well. We really do appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in for the Asia Pacific region here on Assetto Corsa. We've got more to come. Europe just around the corner. But from me and Nina J. Paul, we'll see you later on today. Goodbye.